Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we are back from the brand new video, and it is my absolute pleasure and it's my absolute joy to be able to sit here and say to you, we are once again here to break down, react and discuss the latest Rangers game. A Rangers game that saw the final score of Rangers 5, Dunfermline 0. That's right people, the terrible run has been stopped emphatically by Rangers as they were utterly rampant from the first whistle to the last, and we finally got to see the ruthless Rangers that we came to expect for the first time this season. Now I know there's going to be people out there's going to be people that's been enjoying the recent slump by Rangers diving in and maybe arguing or saying like, aye, but look, it's only a championship side. Well, calm it down there, Janet, because it wasn't so long ago that another glorified championship side got slapped 6-0 and the world was apparently back on its axis. So slow it down there. You only can beat what's in front of you, and just getting that winning feeling back and get smiles on the faces is so damn important when you're a football club that is built on winning games of football, ladies and gentlemen, because as we've said many times, winning is contagious, and if that performance right there and that scoreline can be contagious, I'll be one happy guy. Speaking of a happy guy, by the way, as I haven't been able to do this most recently in the old fan recaps, if you don't mind helping the odd channel out as we try to push towards 56k, that would be greatly appreciated. But enough of the YouTube things and all that malarkey, let's get on with the actual video then, shall we? Because coming into this game of football, we all knew what this was all about. It wasn't enough just to win this game. We had to win this game so dominantly and played so damn well that we can all come away and say, you know what? That can be the spark to get the fire going once again in Rangers. And I can safely say after that performance, I really truly believe it will be. Because it was just utterly fantastic, and there's a lot of players there that went on that path and gave Steven Gerrard something to think about. And the first one that comes to my mind right away is Calvin frickin' Bassett, because if you watched any of that game, it doesn't matter if you weren't watching it on, you just flicked on, there was a good chance no matter what second of time in life that you turned that game of football on the wee remote, you would have seen Calvin Bassett with a football. It was dominating, it was driving, the power, the presence, the defensive attributes when he was asked was there, just shoving people out the way, but it was forward. And you know, I said this over the last couple of weeks on the channel, and I got a wee bit of flack by it. People saying, aye, but BB's this. BB's absolutely, BB is a fantastic player, ladies and gentlemen, but I still stand by what I said after the Livingston game. The shot is Bassey's, and he shouldn't drop out, because yes, his final product was bad in that game, but the power, the presence and the defending was all there, and we actually had a left-hand side. Think of the last couple of Rangers game. Have we had a left-hand side? No, we haven't, until this game right here. And again, yes, it is against a lower opposition, blah, 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 but still, with your ball at your feet, a man in front of you, you've got to beat him, and you've got to put the ball in, and by God, did a big man do that. Because just 2 minutes into this game of football, we saw exactly what was missing over the last couple of games. That energy down the left-hand side as the ball comes in from Bassey, and it sort of unluckily clicks off a defender. But what's really impressive about this lad, he doesn't stop and admire his crosses. He continues to move, and it's his anticipation and just again his energy that creates the goal in the second minute, where it gets onto the end of the rebound, pushes the defender out the way, drills it back to the back post to our boy Lundstrom, who's again been someone who's been under so much fire, which in my opinion has been utterly unfair. But the big man shows what he's all about and shows what we talked about in the player profile, arriving late and slapping balls into the back of net. It was a perfect start, and it was two players that needed a performance starting it up. And Bassey genuinely never slowed down from that electrifying start by Rangers, because just 4 minutes later he was at it again down that left hand side. And what's so impressive about him, it's not as if he's just beating people, right? It's a through ball and he's just burning people for pace and nobody can get near him. He's actually barging people and moving people out in the way on his way to the football. Honestly, it's like Hulk's got a pair of football bits, so nobody can stop this laddie once it gets going. And he showed that in the 6th minute as it gets wide. Beautiful cross to the back post, and it drops to Kamal Roof, who I think actually tries to put too much power on it, ends up heading it into the ground and taking all that pace off it, and it goes straight into the keeper. I think he had a lot more time than he was expecting. I think he was expecting somebody to come in from behind him, but again, brilliance for Bassey, and it was only gonna get better. But speaking of better, by the way, we saw some moments from Connor Goldson, who was looking back to his best, where in the 14th minute, Simpson actually does a very poor back pass. And this, I'll be honest with you, it looked as if Dunfermline was going to be in, using his pace down the side. But Connor Goldson ran with his man, waited, didn't dive in rashly, and eventually just won the ball so cleanly. And from that tackle from Connor Goldson, when it looked like Dunfermline was actually going to get a shot off, within a minute or two later of us just having the ball and pinging it around, the second goal actually ended up coming from. And the second goal I absolutely love for so many reasons, ladies and gentlemen, because it comes just shy of the 17th minute, where Glenn Kamara's heavily involved in it. He finds our boy Hadji, who is just floating about centrally, doing what Hadji can do, and that's just pick holes in defences. And it's a wonderful weighted through ball to Scotty Wright, who uses his pace to get beyond his man and then checks inside, kind of nutmegs the defender. I've not really seen it too many times. I think it might be a cheeky wee nutmeg. We might put it on the wee column right there. But when he cuts inside, how's your final product on? That is something we have spoken about. Where is it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he gives the goalkeeper the eyes and finishes it, burrows it, curls it, do whatever you want to it, and to that near post. And you know what I really love about that finish, by the way, because not only is it showing Scotty Wright is getting there with his final product, but something he's been talking about, especially since the start of the season, is how much he's worked with Jermaine Defoe on his finishing. They spend a lot of time 1v1, they're doing a lot of finishing drills together, and honestly, I think if you're like me and if you've seen any of Jermaine Defoe playing football, go back and look at that finish. Go and check it right now if you want. Can you not see Jermaine Defoe doing that exact thing? And that's how he spent his entire career. We touch inside, give the goalkeeper the eyes and burrow it near post. It's what the man's been doing, and he's clearly been teaching our boy Scotty Wright. Long may that freaking continue. But what's it been, about 60 seconds since I mentioned our boy Calvin Bassey? Well, let's get on with it then, shall we? Because less than just a minute after making it 2, we went ahead and made it 3, where Joe Rebo's just doing Joe Rebo things. Honestly, Mr. Feta Bix himself, flipping, dipping. He gets the ball down on the left-hand side. Wonderful ball to Bassey. And once again, Calvin Bassey, pick that out. Big Tav would be proud of this one. Curled in with so much pace, it finds Hadji, who's known for his aerial prowess, by the way, is there bravely against the goalkeeper to slap it into the back of net. It's 18 minutes gone, it's 3-0, Scants have been building, and I'm not just talking about Dunfermline's either, by the way, but honestly, it is a phenomenal start, and it's exactly what was needed just to get the old plums gone once again. And just because it is so late and I didn't want to take up all your day, I'm going to have to skip over some fantastic moments and not give the moments the detail it requires, because like on the 24th minute, Bassey once again running down the left hand side, picks out Lundstrom, who just flicks it up effortlessly to Nathan Patterson, who is very unlucky with bursting the net with a volley, by the way. He was outstanding as well, but we can't really go into these things in detail because there is so much to discuss. And still, a couple of goals yet to come. And that is why we're going to jump all the way to the 33rd minute of this game, where, once again, Bassey's heavily involved, and the ball he finds Glenn Kamara, who finds Joe Aribo. And then when the ball comes to Joe Aribo, I don't even know how to explain this, honestly. He just opens his legs up and just cushions the ball with a wee back heel pass right to Kamal Roof. And now Kamal Roof, it does something is equally as brilliant in my opinion, and it's not going to be as flashy or anything like that, but he touches it in with his left foot, I should say left hand. Well, you never know, Maradona-esque. But anyway, his left foot tucks it in to the inside. He brings it closer to his right foot and then just buries it into the breadbasket of the goals, giving the goalkeeper and the defender who's right on him no chance. And that is what I love about Kamal Roof. Yes, his headers can be sometimes questionable, but when you give that man a chance with the ball at his feet in and around the box, he's put the ball in every time. I think he's our most clinical striker in front of goal, and movements, wee touches and finishes like that shows you why we badly missed him at the start of this season. But he's back, he's fit, he's scoring, and he's hungry for more. And that good feeling honestly carried us to half-time, where there was honestly more bits of brilliance where, I mean, Hadji was doing reverse back heel moves. I didn't even understand it. It genuinely looked like he was playing the old FIFA Street games and he was just hitting the analog stick trying to build up for a game breaker. That's the level that that man was playing at, considering he could barely walk at certain points in the first half. Frightening performance, and it goes all over the frickin' park. The two fullbacks came out with a point to prove, and And I think we can all say the point has been proved. I thought the midfield was excellent. I thought Lundstrom, when he was able to go forward and being allowed to go forward, no when he has to sit back and defend, which is clearly no his game, and he's able to influence things going forward. You can see what he'll bring to the team, and I can't believe it's took me so long, besides the goal, to mention Scott Wright, who, if he plays like that, he's never going to get took out the team, because the turning, the pace, the willingness to try things is excellent. And if we can get him at that level and Cant on the other, there'll be no stopping us. But to the second half we go then, where again it was just go out there and keep up the performance. You could tell that was coming from Gerrard, and you could almost tell that the players had a point to prove as well, where they were just getting forward. Glenn Kamara and Joe Aribo was outstanding in the 57th minute, where they're just combining and they're shining, and Joe Aribo actually cuts inside and you think, oh, it's going to go over to that one to the left foot, he's going to bury it in the back of net, but it's actually well defended. And then from the rebound, who reacts quickest? Kamara. He's just up here, ladies and gentlemen, and he shows that with his footballing intelligence, because he knows he's going to get the ball in a tough scenario, but if he can get his foot down and he can touch the football, the contact's coming all the way, and he gets the penalty kick. Clear Stonewall using the old noggin, and he steps up himself, calmly puts it down. And you know what I love about this penalty as well, is the goalie dives the right way, because if you score a penalty and the goalie dives the right way, it means you've absolutely nailed the penalty, and he did that. He looked confident, he looked calm, and he just absolutely buried it. And I had a thought when I looked at the penalty kick with how calmly he put that ball down and he buried it so effortlessly. Is that maybe a conversation if he's on the park when we get our next penalty kick? Does he take it over the likes of Tav, who's missed his last couple? What do you think? But whatever you think of the penalty kick scenario, you won't take anything away from his overall performance, which I love by Gerrard, by it showed his intent by bringing on the likes of Morelos, being 5-0 up and everything. And Morelos was heavily involved in everything, linking the play up, switching the play. Anyone who's been questioning him over the last couple of days, saying he's clearly no ball and he doesn't want to be here, just look at how he approached this game and how he got stuck into things when he didn't need to. The game was dead and buried versus a championship side and an early cup game. He had the ability to just come onto there and just coast and not get involved in none, but he's taking dirty challenges, he's riding people off, he's bringing people into play. He came on with a point to prove, and to me, he proved that despite the fact he didn't put the ball into the back of it. And he had a couple of wee half opportunities, one coming late on the game where once again him and Kamara, that partnership at the end of last season for the last 6 weeks was outstanding, with them two combining, being very, very close to each other. He cuts back, he brings onto that right foot, and he unleashes a shot that I genuinely thought was in. But full credit to Dunfermline, it's outstanding defending as the big man's there to head it. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's us reached the end of today's video. It was a fantastic overall performance where there were so many people up for man of the matches. I mean, Glenn Kamara barely got out of his second gear, just strolling it, doing his turn, doing everything. He'll probably not get enough mentions like he should do in today's video, but Joe Aribo was excellent. Patterson was sensational, just unleashed out a cannon from the first whistle. But again, as you may have noticed throughout today's video, there is one name that I've continued to go back to and back to and back to, and that is our boy Bassey. So for me, he is my man of the match. What about you guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions, not only the game and how you're feeling, but who was your man of the match and who out of the game today put themselves into the starting 11 for Thursday. I'd love to know where your head's at, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't mind getting involved in the comment section, that'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. But until next time, I have been Siege Over 92. That has been a sleepy Rocky Boy Johnson. Take care of yourselves, everyone. All the best, and bye.